So today's Japa journal I'm sharing with you. Uh, this is based on Sanatan Goswami's words, which inspires me very much. So the title I've given for this small Japa journal or Japa talk is Begin Small to Feel Loved. I'll repeat, begin small in Krishna consciousness to feel loved. We all want to feel loved. That's why we have taken up to Krishna consciousness. We want to feel loved by Krishna. We want to serve Krishna. We want to have a relationship with Krishna. But all of this begins with beginning in a small way. Sanatan Goswami explains very beautifully in Haribhakti Sudhodaya. Bhagavad Bhakti Nasya Jati Shastram Japastapa Apranasya Dehasya Mandanam Lokaranjanam. He says, without this emotional relationship with Krishna, Bhagavad Bhakti Hinasya, if this is not there, then all the japa we do, all the tapasya we do, all the shastra we study, jati, shastra, japastapa, all of that is like apranasya dehasya. It is like decorating a dead body. Imagine a dead body. You decorate with a nice coat, tie, nice smile, makeup. What is the use decorating a dead body? Apranasya dehasya mandanam lokaranjanam. It will only satisfy some people, but for most people, that decoration is useless. Similarly, when we don't develop an emotional connection with Krishna and we are simply doing externally Krishna consciousness, we will feel hollow. We will feel dry. It is like decorating a dead body. So the essence of all the teachings of our Vaishnava Acharyas is somehow please connect with Krishna. And chanting is the best hope to connect with Krishna. And whenever I have spoken this, I'm telling you very honestly, whenever we speak about chanting, taste in chanting, connection with Krishna, immediately devotees look at the impossibility. Devotees ask questions on, but how to get taste? 16 rounds take 2 hours. We always think of what is not possible. Therefore, I humbly propose, can we look at chanting 1 round attentively every day or giving 15 minutes every day for quality japa, which means externally you continue to chant 16 rounds if you are chanting 16, but internally you can make another commitment that I will chant at least 1 round out of the 16 where I will offer my heart to Krishna, or where I will do some prayers and I will offer. See, basically, at least something we should offer Krishna, because most of our japa, if it is spaced out, and if we try to make all our japa attentive, we'll get frustrated. See, we are always in this paradigm, all or nothing. Either I offer everything to Krishna, or I don't offer anything. It doesn't work like that. 16 rounds take 2 hours, and many of you are initiated devotees. So you may be finding it hopeless because mind is wandering everywhere. No problem. Can we offer something at least? So I'll give you my own example. See if that encourages you. See, I struggled to chant attentively for a long time. I was involved in a lot of personal issues in the year 2020. For 8 months, I was struggling. So when I came back to Mumbai, my japa was pathetic. So then I made a system of 4 E's. I'll share what it is. And I decided that every day, at least one of the 16 rounds will fulfill the criteria of 4 E's. And this was year 2020. Today, 10 to 24, I've come to 8 rounds. So I'm chanting 16 rounds. I'm not chanting less than 16. But at least 8 rounds, I'm able to chant every day, which fulfills the criteria of 4 E's. So therefore, what happens is, I'm slowly beginning and slowly moving forward. So what it is basically the first E is for emotion. So when I start chanting, I seek to invest emotion. Now, this is the most difficult of the 4 E's. But this is like the best. If we can invest emotion in our chanting is best. And this is not easy because we are emotional beings, but our emotions are confined to material world and relationships with our family and friends. When it comes to Krishna, the emotional disconnect is palpable. And also, many of your grahasthas, in grahastha life, stimulation excites. Even suffering is stimulation. If some accident happens, if some drama happens at home, it is a stimulation. Suffering and enjoyment, both are stimulants. But what kills the grahasthas, what actually makes brahmacharis, grahasthas life miserable is the daily grind. The daily grind is what you go through every day, the same drudgery and boredom that makes us approach Krishna consciousness in a very non-emotional, in a very lackadaisical approach. Therefore, it's not easy. Emotion is not easy, but that is the best thing we could do. If you can offer emotions during chanting, best. So sometimes I'm able to offer emotions, but most of the time, to be very honest, I'm not able to invest emotions in my chanting. So the first E fails, no problem. I tell myself, at least let me offer second E. And second E is effort. Effort means gently pulling the mind back to listening to the holy name. Whenever the mind wanders, come back. It's basically struggle. Effort means struggle, pulling the mind back. Sometimes, because of late nights, because of a lot of challenges, I'm not able to put effort also. So like today morning, last night I slept only 4.5 hours. So today I knew that I'll not be able to invest emotions or effort in my chanting. So I followed the third E, which is environment. I ran to the temple hall and I chanted Japa with my brahmachari friends. So for 2 hours, 10 minutes, I chanted with them. And so basically today I chanted 16 rounds. So externally I chant 16 every day, but internally, yesterday I chanted only 8. In the sense, yesterday I could follow the 4 E's only for 8 of those 16 rounds. But today I could chant all my 16 rounds. Environment is one third E. And the fourth is, okay, sometimes I'm not able to follow any of the first 3 E's. Like when I'm traveling, when I'm preaching on a preaching tour, I'm exhausted. I'm taking a flight. I'm going from one city to another city. Sometimes there are different time zones. So the emotion is not there. The effort, it's like a drag. I'm somehow completing my rounds. And even the environment is not there. I'm in an airplane or I'm in the waiting lounge in the airport. So what do I do at that time? So then I follow the fourth E, which is extra japa. So emotion, effort, environment, and extra. So I began with 1 round. Now I have come to 8 rounds. So that means, like for example, yesterday, because of some issues, I couldn't go down to temple hall. I had to stay in my room. I was confined to my small room for the entire 36 hours. So what did I do? I somehow ensured that I chanted at least 8 rounds, which fulfilled this criteria of 4 E's. So that's where we can show our sins. Basically, the idea is to show our sincerity to Krishna. Otherwise, the mind will cheat us. One day we chant poorly, then the next day the mind says, see, nothing happened. Today also we can be a little lackluster, no problem. But when we show our sincerity, when we enter a sacred space, especially for brahmacharis, we are fortunate because we have a temple atmosphere. And when we go to the temple hall and chant, it's a magic actually. And even if your emotions are not there, even if the struggle is not there, there is this energy of shelter, because temple hall is the most amazing place. And even your inadequacies are complemented. You are able to overcome what you lack because of the energy of so many devotees chanting. And somehow if we listen, somehow if we put our effort, somehow if we invest emotions, or if we can't invest emotions or effort, at least come in the sacred space, the environment of devotees. And then if you can't do that also, then at least 1 round, 2 rounds extra. So total, if you can chant a few rounds every day, which is in one of the 4 E's, then you would show your sincerity to Krishna. And the key Srila Prabhupada said is listen to the holy name. And when we listen, we are pronouncing clearly and listening, Krishna becomes very happy. His Holiness Sachinandan Swami Maharaj, he gives a very interesting story. He says there was one devotee there was one Brajvasi going with a lot of his buffaloes. He was walking, and one devotee, his name was Balram, the devotee was walking on the side, and suddenly he heard this farmer shout, Balram! So the devotee was thinking, oh, somebody's calling me. He turned back and he saw that this farmer was shouting at one of his buffaloes, whose name was Balram. And then he was shouting at that buffalo, but he kept saying, Balram, you are like this, Balram, you go there. So as he was speaking about Balram, the devotee thought his name was being chanted. And he became very attentive. And later on, he even looked at that buffalo very carefully. Are, he has my same name. So Maharaj was giving this example to say that our name interests us. So similarly, when we say Hare Krishna, Krishna also becomes interested. But Krishna knows that we are not really calling him. Krishna is not a fool. Gurujan Prabhu says that when you go to Lohi Bazaar, in Lohi Bazaar, you see that some of the shopkeepers, sometimes when you're walking, they call you because they want to sell their products. So they'll say, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So they're basically saying Hare Krishna because they want to call you inside their shop and they want to sell you their products. And you're walking, you're not interested. You hear Hare Krishna, but you know that this calling of Hare Krishna is not for love of Krishna. This calling of Hare Krishna is to solicit a customer, prospective customer. So Gurujan Prabhu was saying that even an ordinary person like you and me can recognize whether the chanting of Hare Krishna is devotional or it is material. So you're saying, will Krishna not recognize? Krishna will recognize, but Krishna becomes happy because we are somehow chanting his name. So the first step is chanting. And then if we can invest our emotions, great. If we can't, no problem. At least let us put our effort to pull the mind back to listening to the holy name. If we can't do that either, then at least let us go to a place where devotees are chanting and be in a proper environment. And if that also is not possible, then at least let us chant a few rounds extra, at least one round extra. So that day's score becomes one round. So like this, we can eventually come to 10, 16. Every day we can offer our japa to Krishna. So this is my few thoughts from my Japa journal, my old Japa journal, and this is what I would request you to try. Now we are actually in a sacred environment. It's 4:47 in my watch. So can we chant for the next 15 minutes, which is 5 past 5? Can we chant? Whoever Shivam or Kumari Gopika Mataji, one of you can.
Yes.
Yes. So,
yes.
So we can chant now, remembering we can try to invest our emotions. And if you can't, at least effort. But environment is anyway there. We're all together chanting. We can keep our videos on. That will help us chant attentively. And then at 5 past 5, we will come together for a discussion on ABC spirituality. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.